Do you think this is going to be another gyrocopter support? Do you think that's going to be the two spots now, the Marcy gyrocopter come out? So you're looking for a carry here on Made in Philippines?
I'm not sure. The gyro support was okay in the previous game for mid in Philippines, but they didn't use it properly in the early mid game. The laning phase went well for the hero. He did solid amounts of damage in team fights, but he just wasn't making moves overall around the map. So I'm not sure if I would want to see it. I think it's most likely going to be a support, but I wouldn't want to say it considering they didn't play it that well. I'd rather see like a Marcy 5 with the gyro carry. These two heroes sound like a really formidable lane.
Yeah. Okay, and Atlantis on the other side, with the Keeper Light coming out now, are you going to be looking towards a... Because what you need... I mean, it depends whether you want to put this Tusk, because this Tusk is still pretty open around the map and where it can be placed, but... Okay, so Queen of Pains comes out. I was going to ask you, are you looking to get heroes that do a lot more magic damage with the Keeper Light coming through with the Solar Bind? You'll be able to add, or like top up the damage that you can do through that Solar Bind as well. The Keeper Light... Wait, so it's going to be the Queen of Pain. Is it going to be the Queen of Pain mid? Keeper Light...
Queen of Pain mid and Keeper of Light and Tusk most likely in the offlane, unless they want to play a Keeper 5, which I think is not the way that you want to do it. So who will be playing the support, who's going to be playing the core on the side of Atlantis in terms of Keeper of Light and the Tusk? I'm not certain, but with having the Grimstroke, I'd rather have the Tusk as a 4 roaming around the map. Though, even if it is a 3 Tusk, I think the gameplay will be the same. You are running around the map with the Grimstroke. It doesn't really matter which position you are. So, yeah, overall, I don't mind. Keeper of Light is going to be taking over the lane out pushing and you know, the farming role later on either way wherever he is placed. So I think the playstyle won't change much. It's just gonna be who's gonna be getting more priority in terms of creeps in the laning phase.
10 seconds to go.
Okay, and so looking at this lineup now for Made in Philippines, is there something you're looking at that's going to be help to deal with Atlantis? You know, do you want to be looking towards... I mean, the Juggernaut's already been banned here. Do you want to be looking towards maybe a Lifestealer or a BKB builder that's got that magic community on their mind with the lineup so far of Atlantis?
BKB builder, sure. Maybe now when I look at it, I may be thinking maybe you're okay putting the Tiny as a carry, considering that you're gonna be playing against the Keeper and the Tusk. You need a hero that is gonna be okay against both physical and magical damage, because that's what these heroes do: mixed damage, magical for the Keeper, physical from the Tusk. Tiny doesn't have a lot of armor, but he has a lot of HP, so he can survive that lane. Not a lot of carries are gonna do well, especially not the illusion based ones.
Yeah, and the Lena ban comes out actually, so maybe they are thinking it is going to be that mid lane left for Made in Philippines to pick up. And going back the past maybe year, I think, you know, I've been talking about how strong the Lena is, even if it's not really currently met. You know, I still think that hero is incredibly powerful if you do get the space to find your items, to find the farm, which Made in Philippines this time they won't be able to go towards. So they pick up a Morphling.
Okay, that's a really good hero to deal with the mixed damage, you know, between the Keeper of Light and Tusk. Sometimes though in the laning phase you can get surprised by the Illuminate and die, but I think it's gonna be okay. Overall, is this okay? So it's an offlane Pango, it's a mid lane Tiny. I'd rather see the Marcy lane with the Morphling than with the Pango. The Pango already is quite fast, you know, and him and the Gyro would do a lot of damage. So I'd like to see Marcy with the Morphling. This would actually make it a bit tough, especially for the Keeper of Light. You get caught by the Dispose, and the Morphling does have a lot of damage, so they might be able to kill you. I'm pretty fine with this last pick of Made in Philippines, other than the you know, Queen of Pain can be dangerous for you, Keeper of the Light in the laning phase, but Atlantis supports those two that we were talking about that can go and get kills. Well, the Morphling isn't really susceptible to dying from the Tusk and the Grimstroke.
So, what do you think it is now that Atlantis want to be looking for to complete this lineup? Because the Monkey King's gone, Razor's been banned out now as well. Something that comes up strong against, well, not only...
Ursa.
You want an Ursa, straight up?
Ursa, straight up Ursa. I'm seeing this as a perfect Ursa game. You might have a bit of trouble with the Pango in the lane. They go for the PL. Okay, that's an okay one, but the Pango and the Tiny can be problematic for you. I'd rather see an Cinersa. Only the Pango is annoying to you in the laning phase because you can't catch him and you're always like mad about it. But that's just the MO of the hero anyways. Yeah. With this pick, Atlantis are going a little bit towards the late game, but there could be that time, you know, where PL is just dying to the Tiny. This Tiny will be running around, and then once the PL gets his items, sure, he's stronger than the Morph. But the Pango and the Tiny are still quite solid against him. Not really sold on the pick. It can win them the game on the side of Atlantis, and Mango Rose showed in the previous game that he doesn't need the better matchup to be able to outfarm his opponents and win the game. But I would have preferred something else. Still, I do believe out of all of the drafts so far that this is the most well-rounded one for the side of Atlantis. And considering MIPH dropped the ball, even in game 1 they weren't looking so hot in terms of plays. They just outdrafted their opponent significantly. I think I'm gonna be flip-flopping towards Atlantis in this one.
Okay, well, we are going to be able to find out who's going to win this third and final game coming up here between Made in Philippines and Atlantis. And I don't know, I think the Morphlin's pretty strong, but the Phantom Lancer just gets to the point where if the game goes long enough, it is going to be able to overwhelm not only the Morphlin, but pretty much everyone on the team. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this one's going to play out as we get ourselves into this third and final game. And
everybody get set.
We get the overlay working. Yes? No?
Why would you ever need an overlay?
Just because it looks nice. You know, it looks fancy.
Of course, we need to be giving our sponsors a good time. You know, not only the sponsors but also the people watching. You know, they want to go on 188 bet. They want to drink some mate if they're getting tired. So it does make sense. I'm kind of sad I don't have any mate because it's gonna be a long day for you and me, Rob. After this series we have an Eastern European Division 2 series, so we might be needing some help to stay awake, especially after this kind of Dota. It's gonna be exciting. We go into Eastern Europe. It's just not gonna be as dynamic as this one.
I mean, you said that yesterday, and then it ended up being a slugfest for the match that you said it in. So I'm gonna reserve my judgment on the Eastern European League for the minute while we
are talking about the 7 kills 25 minutes into the.
No, we're talking about the game before that when it was something like 30 kills in 18 minutes or whatever it was. But
either way.
Yeah, I mean, it's unpredictable, and that's nice. That's something that, you know, you may want in your Dota. To be surprised. Who doesn't like to be surprised?
I'd be surprised if there aren't like 30 kills 20 minutes into the game in this one, because it's gonna be a complete brawl fest here in this game, and there's gonna be an offlane Tusk. As I said, I still believe that that he's gonna play this game pretty much as a 4 after the laning phase. He's just gonna have a little bit more farm, and Ayad, he'll be taking over a little bit and split pushing, getting some items going his way. Tusk as a core is really, really powerful. We saw it in Eastern Europe on the mid lane. On the off lane, you play it a bit differently. You don't max out the first 2 spells. I think you go more into the tag team build.
Yeah, the Packlands he was trying to go for the Illuminator. We did get the Illuminator off, but he comes in again. The homing missile coming through at level 1 on the support gyrocopter. But Tusk, he might look. He's got the ward down as well, so there is going to be that block onto the camp. But Teehee's hanging around here. I might even see a courier. No, he's not going to be able to get it. But yeah, Ayad, you want to go because, I mean, the aggression's going to come through from Teehee. He's just chasing down onto Ayad with the right clicks as well as that homing missile. And Ayad's just going to have to go right back towards that tier 1 tower. Meanwhile, it looks like Tusk just pushed up a little bit. Ken. Level 2, so he's got for the point into the waveform there as well. Doing a little bit of harass. Meanwhile, on the top lane, there is going to be the dispose onto the Phantom Lancer. Mango Rose is going to be able to get himself out of danger here. It looks like Lizify again playing as that position 4, so it isn't going to be super safe for the Phantom Lancer until that Doppelganger comes out. You know, but even then, you're still going to have the, what is it, like a 1.25 second stun? A 2.1 second stun at level 4. So yeah, it gets up there on that dispose stun.
The thing with the PL in this lane is you want to be a little bit more aggressive, you know, run towards the Marcy Maker, use the rebound defensively so that she can't go for you. The real strength of the Marcy comes out that her cooldowns are very, very low on the dispose and the rebound, and it's very tough to force those out. But then again, it's a very low cooldown on the Inkswell once you get a few more levels in it, so you can try to force things out if you can. If you're Atlantis, you don't want to allow MIPH to constantly be on the aggressive on the top lane.
Yeah, and speaking about getting aggressive at the bottom lane, Ken is pushing right up towards his tier 1 tower, even without the gyrocopter being here. So he's, he's playing it pretty brave. The tag team is starting to come out from the Tusk as well. Was this just the pull? It looks like it is going to be the pull across, so he's trying to deal with these neutral camps as quickly as possible, as he's still not been able to get the D-ward off. It doesn't look like here in the camp. So he does have the sentry to drop. It's just trying to guess where. He's already dropped their sentry, so the blocks are still there. Meanwhile, on the top lane, I think they'll try and get it. Ponyo's back underneath the tier 1 tower, so he's going to be fine as well. Level 2 onto Luzify, so he does have the rebound into the dispose if they want to, but it looks like he's just going to be pulling the creeps across, not really getting aggressive onto Ponyo, as Ponyo does take a shield crash to the face. But no real aggression coming out here from both sides just yet.
I'm super surprised that Ken has such a low amount of CS. Morphling has a lot of damage. A really good play was made at the start by the Gyro to kind of zone out the Keeper of the Light and allow the Morphling to farm the first wave under his tower. The Morphlings love to do this to get level 2 immediately, and then you're actually not afraid of dying. Oh, Ken might die now. Ooh, okay, he's gonna see that one. WS did an awesome job with the Tusk. Look at this, he's doubling the Morphling and he has 9 denies. Tusk doesn't really strike you as a hero who's gonna get a bunch of denies. He has a solid amount of damage, but not the best animation to get the hits in. So very weird there coming out from Ken. I think he definitely missed some of the last hits that he definitely shouldn't have.
Yeah, and he's moving himself back up, and again, it looks like the D was going to come out this time from Hayat. He's going to be able to get the block onto this camp as well, so it is going to be their turn. But in the mid lane, it looks like it's going to be the rotation through. JG Inkswell comes through from Wonderboy here, so if he needs the blink, he can get on top, but there is going to be the rebound coming through from the Marcy. Marcy with the sidekick now as well. Dispose comes out, Grimstroke, he might go down. He's trying to use the Fairy Fire to keep himself alive. That's not your side of the map there. JG will be able to claim the kill onto Ponyo, so first blood goes the way of JG once again.
And that is not a hero you want to give the first blood to. We already talked about the Keeper of Light, the Grimstroke being super susceptible to dying to the Tiny. Even the Queen of Pain, before she gets her Sanjin Kaya, is gonna be quite an easy target. So
top lane. You might be able to get the doppelganger comes out. Sorry to interrupt, but these players rudely trying to interrupt you with a gank.
I know that's not gonna happen again. I'm very certain. Either way, yeah, the Tiny is gonna be a problem in this game. The way that the MIPH want to play this game is jump in, get a kill. Yeah. Ideally on the Keeper of Light or the Grimstroke. Without those two, it's gonna be very tough for Atlantis to play. So I'm really scared for Atlantis. They gave the first blood to the Tiny. Really, no reason to do that there. Yeah,
and Ken, he's keeping this morph down as well into the Agi, so. Ayad just keeps on throwing us, and Ken just has to back away from the wave. I think this is how WS is getting all of these denies. That Ken's just being zoned out because he's going in with a more full Agi pretty much. And if he does get caught up by an Illuminate, especially now, what level is it? Level 2. It's going to be so much damage over onto the Morphling. The Morphling does have the waveform to get away from the physical damage if WS throws out the ice shards. But yeah, that Illuminate, it's just going to be very, incredibly deadly over onto the Morphling if the Morphling does get caught out. Speaking of being caught out,
they got him.
Yeah, and it looks like top lane as well. There is going to be the Inkswell coming through from the Grimstroke, but they might be able to get it with the sidekick. One more right click, and yeah, Robbnroll picks up the kill there onto Ponyo once again. It looks like they might even go onto Mango. Mango, he's going to be able to get himself away if he needs to. Because he does have that doppelganger. In fact, no, what are the spells coming through? Doppelganger comes out. They're even going to be able to get the rebound onto the real one. The dispose comes out, and it looks like Mango Rose is going to be able to get himself away from this one. Shield crash. It's going to be he's dead.
The Orb of Corrosion just does so much damage with the swashbuckle. It's actually insane. So they easily bring it down. He was like, okay, I don't even need to use my sticks. There's just no way about it to go about it. And Tusk actually not maxing out the tag team. I'm surprised he even took 1 point, considering that he wants to max out the ice shards and the snowball. Does kind of make sense when you're laning against the Morphling. You want to burst him down, but the 1 point in tag team, maybe that was the one to help you CS a little bit at some points around around the lane right now. We see that he is pretty much gonna be playing it as we've seen it in the Eastern European region, just maxing out the first spell, the second spell, and doing so much magical damage.
Yeah, and that's kind of the thing that you need to do up against the Morphling, right? Is just constantly just try and burst him down. You've got the Illuminate to do a whole lot of damage, and being able to throw it forward up with the Snowball, with the Ice Shards, you know, like we've already seen it once, it just deletes the Morphling.
The laning phase is okay for both teams. You could say it that way. You know, the Morphling is suffering on one side, but his other cores are doing perfectly. And you know, the PL is suffering, but the Queen of Pain and the Tusk are doing quite well for themselves. But now MIPH is gonna start rotating, and that's a pretty easy kill for him.
Yeah, JG finds that kill top lane though as well. They're going to be able to go into Iad. It's going to be the Rolling Thunder coming through from Rippido. Who's he going to be able to go to turn this one around? He's just going to have to go the long way. Iad behind the tier 1 tower. There is going to be the Power Ranger TP in. The reinforcements come through, but they still get the kill into JG. And now the Snowball into the toss back, so he's not going to be able to get off. He does have that Walrus Punch, but he's going to be caught in the trees. The Ice Shards has to eat his way out of this with that Quelling Blade, but it's not going to be enough. The Sonic Wave comes through, connects onto pretty much everybody. Let's see, he's going to be up here now as well. Can he go into Rippido? Rippido's going to try and get him away with the Swashbuckle, so he is going to be the Luzzify as well with that rebound. Really nice rotation out. They only lose the Tiny though.
Yeah, Atlantis, they rotated a lot of heroes here. There were 3 of their cores. Luckily, they got the Tiny, but at the one point, it looked like he might actually be able to get himself out after a beautiful toss back from the Tusk. Now, Atlantis, they need to either get some kills here on the top lane or get themselves out of this one, because without those DPs, without the Sonic Wave, a storm down the top lane is gonna be problematic, and you should bail, because it's not gonna be easy to survive. And JG, look at him, he's just going around the map doing whatever he wants.
Yeah, the Doppelganger comes out. Ken gonna be maybe getting aggressive, but JG's just chasing him down. He's got himself a decent amount of damage. You can see how quickly he chunked down onto Mango Rose there, and as he just moves himself around with the phase boots, he's going straight towards that Blink Dagger, which is going to be, you know, he's going to be able to blow up. Well, he gets on top of the Keeper Light with 800 health, max health, 740 for the Grimstroke. If he gets a good Avatos combo off, he's just going to be able to blow up both supports.
Yeah, very easily, without much trouble. They're gonna be needing the infused range offs, but I'm not even sure that even saves them from the Tiny. Weird decision to go for the bottom lane. You know, the PL is not that easy of a kill. He does have a Doppelganger to keep himself safe, and you had a really clear path to go to the top lane, kill the Tusk, and open yourself with the tower. Considering that you're gonna be getting that blink, you want the map to be open. If you're JG, you don't want all the towers to be up.
Oh, look at this top lane. Wonderboy at least is going to have the blink away if he gets into too much danger. Homie Mycel is going to be started, so he just gets that early blink off towards the lane. JG's going to be closer. Comes in with a Tumbler's Toy. Was that tossed back into? Not going to be tossed back into anywhere. He's going to be silenced by the Phantom now as well. The rebound comes out from Luzzify. And Luzzify just has to back himself away. Just backing himself away as Wonderboy goes back into the lane to get that farm up as much as possible.
Every single time I see the rebound, I'm like, where is the Tiny getting these haste runes from? And just as I say it, he actually finds the real one though. Considering that you have the rebound, maybe not even needed. But twice in a row here, I thought that he had the haste rune, but both of the times it was the rebound actually. Till finally, MIPH going towards the top lane, but the Sonic Wave is up again, so this could be dangerous.
Oh, the rebound comes in into the Dispose, right onto the Keeper Light, and he's just going to be Avatar the Snowball. It might keep him alive for a little bit, but the Shield Crash will be able to finish the job, and now the Rolling Thunder coming through. He's going to be turned around. It looks like WS on these Ice Shards. He's just going to be able to bounce around. It looks like DUES inside these Ice Shards now might be safe from that Rolling Thunder, because there was a couple of them that could have connected. Maybe you found that kill. Was a Swashbuckle. Those Shield Crash comes out. He get the kill onto WS, and now it's going to be the Haste Rune from the Tiny wearing off. Does he want to turn right back into this? There is the Ward to see if Robbnroll comes back in as well, and Wonderboy has that Sonic Wave up as well. He's going to have a decent amount of mana, but yeah, Tiny JG, you can see he's just going to go back to farming again. He's going to be out 200 gold off that Blink Dagger if he wants it, which he will do.
Well, it's ideal if you get the tower and then with the blink you're invading the enemy jungle, rather than using the blink for a rotation and then getting the tower off of it. So with Atlantis defending this one, they're going to be quite happy still. Not too happy considering when you see the 3 heroes of MIPH topping the network chart. And when you look at Atlantis, their heroes just don't farm that fast. The PL, you buy a Diffusal Blade and suddenly you're just not that fast of a farmer. You know, you ideally would want to fighting into a Tiny early on, not going to be happening. So for the next 10 minutes, unless this Tusk is getting a ton of kills, MIPH is going to be making a big difference in terms of net worth.
Yeah, and you can see now the push coming through as well. Robbnroll, he's not even scared about leaving this top lane with it being pushed close to the tier 2. He's looking for the farm. He's got the Rolling Thunder. He wants that Maelstrom to come out, and while this is going on, there's going to be a really nice rotation coming through from the side of MIPH. The cooldown comes through as well. Wonderboy's going to be able to get the Tumbler's Toy into the blink away. But
they get themselves out. The top tower did fall. Yeah. Now it's time to open up the mid lane. The top tower gives you a bit more farm, which is nice for the Morphling, but he would like to stay in his big jungle for now. The mid lane tower gives you an opening to everything in terms of getting kills, and that is what MIPH wants to do with this tiny blink dagger. Still, this is the first smoke. This is Sponyo most likely dying. He's being greedy. He wants more. I think any kill is nice if you're getting any damage down into the mid lane tower, because once that one falls, you won't really be needing smokes to get big kills.
But the rebound comes out. Snowball's going to be coming through from Lizify now as well, and you can see Tiny's just waiting on the back line. He's going to be able to get the Avatos coming through, and Lizify gets that kill. And now JG with the double damage rune as well. He's going to be able to step up with Ken. And with the tree as well, he's got 4 charges on the tree. Well, he's going to be able to get a fresh one here in 17 seconds. But I'm surprised he didn't pop it, try and get the damage onto the tier 1 tower. Is that just not... Well, does JG want to be prioritizing these kills then, I guess? Moving himself around, not popping that DD, throwing the tree away, not putting the aggression onto this tier 1?
The bottom tier 1 isn't gonna give you that much more than the mid lane one would. But if they do get it down, and Atlantis can't get this tier 1 down on the bottom lane for a long time, it's gonna be a problem.
Oh, speaking about problems, there is going to be the snowball in, being dragged back though right into the path of JG, excuse me, and now it's going to be the rebound coming through the soulbind though. Sonic Wave is going to be committed onto it. Looks like they might be able to kill onto the Marcy. Marcy will go down. Ponyo picks up that kill, but Robbnroll wants to be coming in. Has that Rolling Thunder, and again, there is no tier 1 tower, so if you need to dive a little bit further, they are going to be able to here on the side of MIPH, but it looks like they just want to back themselves away.
Okay, this changes the game a lot. Bottom tier 1, or your offlane tier 1 very rarely dies. Okay. Mango Rose, he's fine.
Yeah, he gets the doppelganger to the high ground, and he can walk himself away, and any avalanche he can walk away from is a good one. But it looks like Teehee will still go down. WS does pick up that kill.
That's the combo of the Tusk and the Grimstroke coming into play. But here's the deal: you have the Keeper of the Light, you have the Grimstroke, you even have the Tusk with the maxed out shards. So dropping a tower on your offlane that early on, it should not happen. Now it gives another dimension for MIPH to approach. They don't have the mid lane tower yet. Ideally, that would be the one you want to take down with the tiny blink. But still, with the bottom lane being something that Atlantis are gonna have to put emphasis on right now to push out. It's gonna allow the creeps, the MIPH, to get this mid lane tower down in, pretty soon, and then it becomes bloody if it already hasn't. If you look at it, because JG, he has 4 kills and he's not gonna stop anytime soon.
No, he's not. Going towards that Echo Saber, he's not too far away from it. Oh, the smoke's going to come out, so they're going to go for a quick rotation. They look for a quick kill, and you can see here the bottom lane, WS as well as Ponyo. When these creeps do march up to him, I think we just give vision of WS, so it's going to be maybe some quick aggression coming out here from the side of JG. Teehee. Ponyo's going to be walking himself away as well. Did he want to go? He's backing himself away. Maybe looking for a bigger target here, JG. The smoke is going to be about 3/4 of the way through, though. So he just moved himself back to the mid lane.
They were thinking that Atlantis was going to pressure the bottom lane, because Atlantis right now, they would need an objective. You would want to get an objective, but I think they understand the dangers. So MIPH, they kind of have the line towards which they want to fight on the bottom lane. They don't want to dive too much.
The Walrus Punch comes in. Aya's going to be able to get the blow up with the Illuminate, and Morphin will go down. Teehee now going to be able to get himself out of this. Tries to throw the cooldown now as well. Lizify could get himself away. 3-4 heroes grouping up around him. Lizify Mango Rose gets himself the double kill, and the chase might be on as well. I think he's going to be able to go into JG. He's going to be on the high ground, so he sees Wonderboy as the rune does pop on the bottom part of the map. Comes in, Avatos, but the Walrus Punch didn't actually connect now as well. They're going to get the kill onto Wonderboy, and now the damage coming through Soulbind, but it's not going to latch onto anyone. The Walrus Punch once again, and Robbnroll does get taken down. WS claims that 4 times killing spree there, and a decent amount of gold going the way of WS.
Very weird positioning coming out from Ken on the top lane. Oh, fighting never stops.
Toss back though, JG's going to be right underneath this tier 1 tower. It's going to be the blink away immediately from WS because he got that damage mitigation coming through from the snowball. Just a quick refresh on that blink dagger. He was able to get himself out of danger.
As I said, interesting positioning from Ken. You would be farming safer on the bottom part where you have vision. And you're not farming the ancients on top, so it's not like you're maximizing your farm, but you go super deep into the enemy jungle. I would understand if Tiny would be going there to get pickoffs with the Avatar's combo. We already talked about MIPH and how good their lineup is at starting off the fight by killing a hero. But the Morphling farming and you just giving the jump to Atlantis, it is not something that you should do. So MIPH, especially with the bottom tower being taken down, I think if the Morphling wants to farm aggressively and overtake a part of the map, that the bottom lane is the perfect one to do it. And if you want to maximize your farm on top, you need to be in the triangle.
Yeah, and you can see Mango Rose as well. He's just deep pushing this bottom lane. He's taking all the aggression out of this, but it will then push back to a safe farming point for the side of MIPH. And Mango's going to be careful. He's going to be rotating into the Radiant jungle. The scan though, it is going to spot out, so he just backs himself away. Yeah, he immediately pulls that ripcord, knows that he doesn't want to be caught out. He doesn't know where anybody on the side of MIPH is, and like I say, just doesn't want to get caught. As Lizify comes around, won't be able to spot anyone. Well, now this ward will. It's going to be able to see Ponyo, but there's not going to be any punishment. No follow-up from that from either side. The smoke from Atlantis not paying off there.
It was easy for Mango Rose to read that move, considering that his team was in a smoke on the top lane. You are invading really deep in mid lane, no one is showing, so you kinda know where the enemies are. Tiki, inside of the enemy triangle, again, against the Tusk and against the Grimstroke, you're always gonna die. So not really sure what he was doing there. Even placing some vision into the enemy triangle, it's usually gonna get dewarded right immediately, because there's no way that Atlantis are not protecting this area with a lot of things, considering you lost your tier 1 on the bottom lane. If you lose your triangle at this point, you actually have no control of anything around the map. So a very weird move from Tiki, especially to go in there alone.
Yeah, speaking about being alone, it looks like they might be able to get themselves on top of the Phantom Lancer. Phantom Lancer this time, the Avatar does come through, and JG's going to get the blow up onto Mango Rose. Nobody close to help save him, and it was just, like I say, that the protection isn't there with that tier 1 being down. The tier 2 tower, it's the 3.5 second TP, you know, and then you've got to look for the rotation time. Okay, Wonder Boy with the blink, it's a decent gap closer, but in, what, let's say a max of 5 seconds, it's an easy blow up time there for the Tiny. You can see how quickly, that was, what, a second, maybe 2, to get the kill onto Ayad as well.
Yep, very fast and very easy. I think MIPH have finally found which status quo actually is the perfect one for your team, especially with that tower being down on the bottom lane. You just stay on the bottom around your vision. Anytime someone shows, you kill them with those movements. If no one is showing, your Morphling pulls back, and now with some of the heroes, that then you can claim more territories than you had, and that's exactly what they did. 2 heroes were dead, and they dove a little bit too far, but they should be able to get themselves out. Oh, Rapido.
Sonic Wave is going to be using Rapido. Yeah, unfortunately can't get himself out of this. Can though. Did take down that tier 1 tower in the mid lane, so he opens up a little bit more. And Ken, yeah, I mean, how's he doing in terms of farm? He is top of the net worth, so it's not looking too bad here for Ken, even if, you know, he's not getting involved super effectively in the kills. You know, he's only got himself 1 assist.
I have to say, Ken should be happy how it's going, though the PL does have a solid amount of farm. He got his S and Y, so it's not going to be that easy to kill any longer, especially with the 15 talent. And with that move, a little bit of an overdive from MIPH, Atlantis have been able to push in the bottom lane. This is a big thing because, you know, MIPH with the mid lane tower going down, you have options, and Atlantis are going to try to take away one of those options by bringing down the bottom tier 1, because then the map where MIPH will be able to hunt is going to be significantly smaller.
Yeah, and you can see this now as well. Atlantis, they are just, they're having to group up, they're having to stay together, they're having to keep themselves safe in that pack mentality coming through here, and Ken just gets himself a free Aegis out of this. He's going towards a BKB now as well, after the Manta style. Is that then when the Morphlin, does he want to start joining in with the rest of the team, you know, getting aggressive, or does he want to be going for maybe something like a Skadi first after that BKB? Ooh, they're going to be able to get the jump onto it. Can they take down the Keeper of the Light, though? Keeper of the Light looks like he might be able to get himself away from the danger. But yeah, so when does Ken actually want to join in with the rest of his team?
I think the timing is pretty much now. You want to go for the top tier 2. You've let go of the bottom lane. Sure, you don't want to be getting kills there any longer. So now you feel like you're stronger. Even without the BKB, him having the Aegis allows him to push the tier 2. The top tier 2 is the easiest tier 2 to push. And with this, you are setting yourself up for success, not only for this Roche, but for the second one when you're going to have control of the outpost. You need to be getting more and more map control right now as the Morphling, because the PL will be pretty powerful in this game. He actually got a decent amount of farm because he got a few fights going his way with the Diffusal.
Well, they're going to be able to get the Warriors Punch into the Sonic Wave off into JG. JG's still going to survive through this now as well. The Marcy with that Soulbind, they might be able to get the kill into the Marcy. The Marcy's going to be able to do a little bit of damage before that comes out, though. The Rolling Thunder, I think, going to be able to get the kill. They do take down that Keeper of the Light, and now with the Soulbind, though, onto Ken. Ken's still going to be coming forward, trying to do what damage he can. It's going to be a really nice cooldown as well, doing damage to a whole lot of heroes, and Ken's going to be able to get himself the double kill. Chase onto Teehee. Teehee can't get himself out of that, though. And Ken, still with that Aegis, 3.5 minutes on that. The BKB is in the backpack.
Okay, so Atlantis might not be the biggest fight for them. But okay, they brought down the Marcy, so it's a 2 for 2. Overall, it's an even one. But the main thing of this smoke is protect the tier 2 on the top lane. After the glyph was used, you know that MIPH are gonna focus that one down, so you need to come over there. I think Atlantis should be quite happy with how the game is going right now. They've been able to stop the advances of MIPH. The tower is going down early on. It didn't give too many kills to MIPH, so even if you lose Mango Rose right now, it's not the worst thing in the world. But MIPH, they need a big kill. That's why they're going for a big smoke.
Yeah, they're gonna try and go though, and they're gonna be able to maybe get the blow up. There's gonna be a really nice snowball to save Mango Rose though. Can they carry on going further? Ponyo's gonna get taken down. They might be able to get themselves onto JG. JG's gonna be blown up. It's gonna be the kill going the way of Wonderboy. I could get himself away from this one. The Rolling Thunder, though, it's going to be coming through a few heroes now. And Ayad, the damage onto Ken as well. Ken, can he get himself onto the high ground, trying to chase down? They'll be able to get on top of Ayad. They're going to be able to change targets onto the Gyrocopter, though. Gyro goes down. And it looks like Robbnroll with the Rolling Thunder just wants to get himself out of danger. He already used that Blink Dagger, so he's just going to have to get on the roll and get himself away. But a good, you know, you lose your 2 supports, but you get 3 heroes taken down on the side of Atlantis there. So that's going to be a little bit of a bonus coming into that fight.
The Heart is approaching. I thought that this is not gonna be this easy of a game for APL. He's pretty much getting perfect timings on his Diffusal, on his SNY, and now the Heart will be coming out at a pretty decent timing as well. Yeah, Tiny and the Pango can deal with PL later on down the game, but not if he is this farmed. You know, after the Heart, there's gonna be a Skadi, and then you're gonna be needing like 20 more minutes for the Tiny and the Pango to be able to deal with those illusions. This is definitely not looking the greatest for MIPH. And this should be a lesson for them. This is what happens when you don't use your early advantage, when you don't use those Blink Daggers to get kills. And I think twice in a row, JG, he went for a mid laner that buys a Blink, and he just didn't accomplish enough around the map.
And so looking at this now, it's 16 to 16. There's no real advantage going either way. You can see it's even close in terms of the PL and the Morphlin. Once that Heart comes out, you know, like you say, he is getting close to that. In fact, is the where's his courier?
Not sure, maybe.
Oh, he does. It's in the fountain. Yeah, I thought it might be the side shot, but he does have the Reaver on the courier there as well. So it's going to be what, 200 gold away from the Phantom Lancer from being able to pick that Heart. How easy then is it going to be to get these picks? I mean, he's got 2.5k health already. Once the Reaver comes out, the Heart's completely completed. You know, how easy then is it going to be to get those pickups onto the PL?
Almost impossible. And the thing is, MIPH, if it's a long drawn-out fight where the PL is allowed to do his thing, it's a problem, especially because he's going to be targeting the Tiny. The Tiny uses the Avatos combo on one of the supports. What's happened in the last fight, the PL will immediately turn around on him, because the PL and the Tusk can just crush the Tiny in a second, especially before the BKB comes out. So once the Tiny is dead and there's no more Rolling Thunder, you're probably going to use the Rolling Thunder to kill the other ones. Let's say the PL plus the Tusk stay against even 3 heroes of MIPH, they're gonna win the fight if the Tiny is dead. So right now it's looking really tough for the side of MIPH. Killing 1 hero at the start of the fight might not be enough. You need to get more. Maybe you need to get 2 of those and then chase on to Atlantis. Atlantis. And the thing is, there is a snowball save, there is a shard on the Grimstroke. So Atlantis now, they're starting to itemize in a way that's gonna allow them to survive.
Yeah, and we'll see what... I mean, Ken's putting the pressure onto this tier 2 as well. He's looking like he's actually going to go back for the Daedalus. So that Aegis, he's got himself 25 seconds left on that. Going to be able to get some mana back here with the Clarity once that Aegis does go down. You know, just pop that, put the Morbid Mask back in for a little bit of survivability. But as this is going on, it looks like Atlantis, they're getting a little bit less shy about getting aggressive here. They are starting to move themselves around, get themselves onto the other side of the map as well, trying to take some of this map control back. So I think the real question I'm asking here is, when is it going to be Morbin time?
For whom?
For the Morphin, you know?
Oh, okay.
When is he going to morph?
He is ready to fight at any point in this one. He just needs a good position. You can see that he's itemizing so that they can blow up the PL, ideally. Ideally, you would want to jump in on the PL and be able to kill him. Once the Skadi comes out, I just don't see it happening. So MIPH, this would be your last call. I don't think waiting for the Roche is just gonna cut it. If you wait for the Roche, the PL will come there, smoked up with his team, having a Skadi, and you will lose the fight and you will lose the game. So if there was ever a time to make something happen, it is right now for MIPH, though they're not doing much, so I wouldn't want to be in their skin.
Yeah, and you can see, I mean, I guess, are they trying to take... They've got the outpost as well, so there can't even be any aggressive TPs, you know, to try and get on top of JG, you know, try and go for the backstab. So this area that they're controlling, how useful is this to them, really?
Well, MIPH are fine with the area that they're controlling. The problem is that if the enemies are smoking to you, you're not really the type of a team that stands its ground. So you want to be the ones jumping in first. So ideally, if I was MIPH, I would like to create chaos around the map right now. You know, not control an area. Sure, it's great for the second Roche, but that's if you are stronger than your opponents. Right now, that is not the case. Not in terms of net worth and not in terms of heroes at this point in the game. So I'd like MIPH to be a little bit more dynamic on the map. Strike on the bottom lane, then go to the top lane, force heroes back, then again go to the bottom lane. Just try to create chaos like that, because then you will force Atlantis to make a potential mistake.
Okay, well, they're going to be able to go... No, WS. There's going to be the Will being dropped now as well. Luzify gets caught in it. Can he get himself outside of that? He's going to be dragged in once again. The damage is he going to be able to take down the... I mean, the Tusk is just staying through this now as well. They're on Thunder away. Soulbind comes out on the backlines. It's not really going to be anything they can take advantage of.
Is pushing bot.
But yeah, look at this. The pressure coming through here. Doppelgang going to be used. Mango Rose, does he want to go back into this? Ken. He just has to go for that shift. He's going to be able to heal a bit again because of that Morbid Mask coming through on his inventory. But while it's going to happen, they're going to be able to go into Luzify here. Back lines. Can they go into Teehee? Teehee's going to be going all the way back towards the tier 4 towers. Mango Rose has encouraged him to come in, diving in with him now as well. It might be a little bit too far and a little bit too early now as well. JG's going to be popping that BKB. Spider legs come out as well, so WS is going to be able to get himself out of danger.
Okay, so for no reason, he just dove the enemy base and just casually walked out. For a second there, I thought maybe he was gonna get caught by the avalanche, but the second that he got away from that, it was certain that Mango Rose is gonna live. He has 3.7k HP, gonna have 4,000 once the Skadi comes out, and he even finds the Elven Tunic, the perfect item for a PL, especially against the Morphling that's going for a right-click build. You can already see what he is doing. The Skadi is your end game item, and the butterfly is just salt on the wounds, just like, okay, Morphling, I'm even gonna show you which the real one is, and there's nothing you can do about it because you won't be able to hit me. So it's starting to become really grim for MIPH, and they are just okay with the status quo. I think they're aware that they're losing the game. They just don't see one or two moves that are gonna help them, and that is probably the case. You need a lot of those to, again, force out mistakes on the side of Atlantis.
Yeah, and I mean, let's see. I mean, WS now, how far? He's got the 8-second BKB going towards the Ags. They are building up this net worth. It's still pretty close at 30 minutes. You know, no real advantage, but it looks like now MIPH, you might want to try and force some aggression onto this tier 3 tower in the top lane. As, okay, Luzify is just going to hide himself in the trees. JG's going to come for the backup. Ken, maybe getting a little bit shy now that it's actually coming to time to push up, so he is just going to hide himself. We might just use the illusions to push up with this next creep wave, you know, push onto this tier 3, because, I mean, again, Atlantis, they are happy taking control of this side of this bottom part of the map, maybe looking towards that tier 3 tower, and then looking for a rack. So it's going to be the smoke up. Roche, 8 seconds away. This could be the perfect time to find a pick off here for Atlantis. If they can get themselves a kill, get themselves into the pit, then that's going to really give themselves room to breathe.
There's that fight that I was talking about. Atlantis, if they get a big fight right now, that's pretty much game for the side of MIPH. MIPH did make a good move. They pushed out the top lane, and they smoked themselves. They understand that their lineup is not good if they're holding that area on the top lane, so they want to be the first ones to initiate. But the thing is that Atlantis' lineup is good at holding the area, so if they're holding the area around the Roche, it's going to be quite nice though. MIPH, look at this. They know they can't really... Okay, the gyro again running in. You would ideally want to fight in the mid lane. At least they place down some vision, so that's going to be nice, but it does reveal the positioning for Atlantis. They just wait it out, and again, they're just going to send the PL up front. I just don't know how you kill him.
Yeah, I genuinely don't know here as well. Going towards a butterfly as well. Is that, like, I mean, both heroes actually, both carries going to go towards the butterfly. Would you expect an MKB then after the butterfly coming out for Ken to try and help deal with that? Because, I mean, it's bad enough that you've got to try and hit like 50 million Phantom Lancer illusions, but not being able to hit them, you know, a percentage of the time as well. Do you really think he's going to prioritize an MKB?
It's not your job as a Morphling to deal with the PL. That is the case. So I don't think so. Your job as a Morphling is to survive the PL, to not be able to get crushed by the PL. So I like the butterfly. It's one of the best items against the PL himself, just because he doesn't like building into an MKB. But the same is true for the Morphling. You don't want it. So as a Morphling, you want to crush the backlines, you want to destroy the supports, and then with all of the stuns and stuff like that, if you can commit on him even through the butterfly, you're gonna contribute enough for the PL to finally fall. So yeah, I don't think as a Morph you're really gonna be looking towards an MKB, and as a PL, there's almost no chance that Mango Rose will go that route.
Okay, well, you can see now as well that Atlantis, they found this opening now to get themselves into the Roche pit. This is going to be the second Roche, so there's going to be the shot coming through from the side of Atlantis, and it doesn't look like it's going to be contested at all on the side of MIPH. I don't even think they know what's going on. Yeah, they've got no vision around here, so they might not have seen him sticking it now. Well, it looks like Ripto's going to try and move himself over the Rolling Thunder. Is he going to be in time though? Try and get himself into the pit. Do a lot of damage where he can. The Soulbind comes out. He's going to be pushed out of the pit, and Mango takes that Aegis, so he's got to roll himself away.
And this is the beginning of the end. So with MIPH being passive for some time, they give away the Roche, the PL now, so you have to go through 8,000 HP. Plus, you don't have a Rolling Thunder right now. Okay, it's gonna come back. The problem is, Atlantis, they can just come to the high ground. They have a spell that can reposition you. The Walrus Kick is there, so they're just gonna be hunting one by one. MIPH are gonna be hunted here, and the only hero they're gonna see is the PL, and that is the one that you just can't kill. You go for the PL, you reveal your positioning, you get kicked back, and you get brought down. This is gonna be what's gonna happen right now. I don't think that Mango Rose needs to stop one bit. You can see how confidently he's just moving towards the tower.
Yeah, and you can see damage here. Robbnroll is going to try and go in for the roll-up, but if he go, they're actually going to be able to get onto the back line. Snowball's going to be there, like you say, that kick coming out. He's going to be in a whole lot of trouble. The damage coming through though. JG going to be able to pop that BKB. What damage can he do? The Gluttony, they're going to be able to blow up onto the WS. And Ken, does he want to come forward? He's popped that double damage rune now as well. He's looking to Wonderboy on the back lines as Teehee. He's going to try and keep invincible. Wonderboy going to get himself out. He's going to be able to get the blink away, and Mango Rose gets the kill onto Lizify now as well. So it is just going to be the 2-for-1 now. The back lines. Soulbind comes out. It's going to be onto the Pangolier as well as that Tiny, and Mango Rose wants to step up into this, but Ken, once again, the right click, he's going to be able to pop onto that Aegis. Can he get himself away here, Rapido? The illusion's not going to be able to get the kill, and Rapido can get himself back to the fountain if he needs to. And now Ken gets that blink out. He's stolen the form of the Queen of Pain, so he will be able to get himself back at least to his high ground. And 3 heroes going the way here of MIPH. You know, I thought that was going to go even worse, but it even 4, because they took the Aegis away as well. So that was a really nice hold there from the side of MIPH.
It was a beautiful hold for MIPH though. This is why I love Southeast Asia. You know, Atlantis, they have a clear path to victory, right? Put the PL in front, they can't kill him. If someone steps out, you kick them back. But no, let's just dive them on their tier 4s. That's how we're gonna do it, because we're gonna assert dominance in their base. That's what the Atlantis wanted to do. That's why you are now gonna have to go back to farming and not really hit your timings. This is why Southeast Asia is so cool. Even the tier 2 teams, they always try to kind of test the limits of what they can do. That's why this region has been learning so fast. But these are some basic things, I think. I think you really shouldn't be doing it. It's fun for the viewership purposes, but in the end, that should have been a pretty clear way of how you approach the high ground. And you know, now the PL doesn't get his butterfly, so it's gonna be a bit different. But you had the perfect timing to end the game. You didn't use it, thus you gave MIPH a chance. And in the ultra late game, you know, it's always gonna be a 50-50, because one bad buyback can cost you the game.
Yeah, and I mean, Mango Rose is going to be rotating over again to push out the bottom lane with his illusions, immediately backing up. And what's that going to be? So he wants to be going towards an Orchid coming out here on Mango Rose. Just with the gold that he's got. I mean, so he's out with the Butterfly. He's got... What does he want to replace here? Is it the Diffusal Blade that he wants to be getting rid of? Or it's going to be the Sanjin Yasha here for the PL that he replaces with the Orchid into the Bloodthorn?
Maybe even the treads. You know, you do have the Phantom's Rush, so you are gonna have the movement speed necessary. I don't really think that you are gonna be needing those power treads. We'll see. The Diffusal Blade, too good on the PL. Yep, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be the treads.
Okay, well, let's see. I mean, because he's still a ways away from it yet. You know, he doesn't have the gold for it. It looks like they might want to try and smoke in, catch someone out. I mean, the Tiny's pushing out this bottom lane now as well, but they're going to be walking up. WS, what's he going to do? It's going to be the Spy. It's going to be a complete disengage from both sides, but Wonderboy, he gets the blink up. The Shivas comes through. Do we have the reveal onto Tiki? Tiki with a Walrus Punch up into there. He's already got the homing missile down, but he's going to be caught out and killed off. The Rollins Thunder does come through, though. They might be able to get something out of this with the Soulbind going. Who's it going to link to? It's going to actually go to Ken. Ken's going to try and go for the right click, so he's going to be able to get himself away from this. He's once again stolen that form from the side of Wonderboy. Looks like IHAD's going to be blown up. Sonic Wave does come through. Mango Rose going to be able to take down Lizify as well. The chase is on, and it looks like it's going to be on to Ken. Ken, though, with the waveform away, going to get himself away from this Queen of Pain. He's going to be able to blink himself out of danger. And once again, both supports on the side of Atlantis go down, but they do take down the Marcy as well. And JG, he's just playing away from this. He's not even really come in for this fight. You know, he's trying to farm up. He's trying to maybe... Does he want to completely buy out here for this Silver Edge that he's about, 500, 400 gold away from picking up?
Yeah, I think it gives you a lot in terms of dealing with the PL illusions. Considering the Deroche, it's gonna be in 3 minutes, maybe even 6 minutes. You do want to be ready to fight. Yeah, he did buy it out. You want to be ready to fight as much as you can, and you need the crit for the Tiny to actually be able to consistently deal with the illusions. We can see that he is now trying to go for the Aghanim Scepter, so definitely itemizing both the Pango and the Tiny to deal with the PL. We can see that the Pango, he wants the Shiva's Guard. Thinking about the refresher, I'd rather go Shiva's if I was him. You know, the double Rolling Thunder, there is a chance you get caught and just die, and the Shiva, it kind of prevents the enemies from killing you from under to zero. Plus, it's one of the best items to deal with the Phantom Lancer.
Okay, well, we'll see what... I mean, yeah, I like it. I mean, he's got the roll-up anyway, right? So if he does get into danger, he's got that kind of protection coming up from him there. I suppose it depends on how risky Lizify is going to try and play. Maybe get a dispose in if he's really out of position. But it looks like, once again, Atlantis, they just want to be stepping up. They want to be putting the aggro onto this mid lane. Maybe looking to take down. I mean, I'm genuinely surprised this tier 3 tower on the bottom lane with 200 health is still standing, though. And I suppose that comes down to JG, who's just constantly pushing out this bottom lane. But he's got to be careful about getting caught out here. He does have a TP scroll. So yeah, he's going to try and go for the Silver Edge, just look for maybe the TP away.
Immediate smoke from MIPH. Atlantis feel the pressure because they should have ended the game like 5 minutes ago. Literally, it was theirs to win, and now it's not that way any longer. MIPH have gotten to a point where they can deal with the PL illusion, something that they couldn't do like 5 to 10 minutes ago. And this was a smoke at a perfect timing. You force out a TP, and you're smoking towards the place they TP to, so the enemies are not gonna have a way to get out of this one.
Yeah, WS, he's going to get the reveal. He actually gets that, maybe the wards, the spidey sense coming up, but WS, he's still going to get really darn low. The punch is coming through. WS, although one more right click, the Rolling Thunder might see him on the backlines. I think he'll be able to get onto it. Rapido's going to take that kill here. And Ponyo, now the Soulbind, but it's going to be nothing to connect you on the Soulbind, so he's just going to be able to get a chase down. Ponyo, he's going to be able to get himself away from this one, the Force Staff. He's trying to get himself the runaway, but on the high ground, though, Lucifer is still going to be able to get the kill onto Ponyo. Can he get himself away from this one? It looks like he's going to be able to get away from down to the low ground. They might be able to step on with the Phantom Lancer as well. Rose gets that doppelganger off. He's going to change targets. JG, the toss comes through now as well. The homing missile. Going to get himself away from this danger. It looks like Lucifer is going to try and get himself in with a rebound. Not going to be able to catch out. Rose might just with this homing missile doing damage with that rocket barrage as he does chase down. The Dispose comes through onto Phantom Lancer. Phantom Lancer, Lucifer can't get that TP away. The damage is going to be way too much. The buybacks come through from the side of Atlantis, but only really there catching out the Marcy.
The homing missiles are being super annoying to the PL. You want to spam out the doppelganger every single time. Oh no! The Tusk made a mistake. Okay, no, he didn't catch him.
Yeah,
he used the snowball onto the illusion.
Could have been a really nice opening pick there if they found it. But yeah, Rapido just able to mind game his way out of that one. Got the ice shards to be picked on the wrong hero, and yeah, the Rolling Thunder, excuse me, the shield crash over the ice shards as well, just gets him out of danger.
As I said, those homing missiles are a big problem in fights. You want to use the doppelganger every single time off cooldown, you know, in team fights, just to make it tough for the enemies to find out which is the real one. But then you have this missile going for you, and you're not sure. Should I dodge it? Should I just remove the lucky shot so that I can fight? It's very tough. We have gotten to a point where MIPH, the Tiny, and the Pango can deal with the PL, and now even the Shiva's Guard has come out for the Pango. I like that he decided to go for that first. The PL is not an issue any longer. Now we're gonna have to be looking towards the Queen of Pain and how much she can do. Doesn't have the shard still. Thinking about the Hex, but if I was her, I'd rather get the shard first and then look for the Hex, because Ken even has the refresher, so double BKB right now. Pretty much he bought the refresher just for the double BKB. The double morph really not that important side of fights, and now they're gonna be the first ones to initiate.
Yeah, they get the Dispose here onto the Phantom Lancer, and the Tusk on the backline, so they're gonna be able to get the blow off the Ponyo. Ponyo just absolutely not surviving through this Mango Rose. Does he want to chase onto this? They're going to be able to get this onto JG. Rolling Thunder is going to be coming through the doppelganger now, though. They're going to be able to change targets with that Will-O-Wisp being dropped back lines. Looks like the Sonic Wave, it didn't really do a whole lot of damage now as well. Marcy will be caught out and killed off. And they go even further onto this because the Marcy does have the buyback, so it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade at the minute. And can even go even further now as well. The Warriors Kick comes through. JG, though, just says, I'm going to just march right back towards you. The blink away from the Queen of Pain. The damage, that's going to be the buyback from Marcy as well. They want to capitalize onto this now as well. But the BKB is going to be wearing off. The Tiny's going to be picked off. Does he want to be vibing back now as well? It looks like they just want to back themselves away. They're going to hold the buyback as well because Lucifer's got to be really careful. He doesn't have that TP out. He's going to try and come onto the back lines. Maybe coming through on that pincer maneuver.
Lupido?
Yeah, he's going to be
and he's buying
buyback. Yeah, but Lucifer, that's a dieback coming through onto that Marcy. Can they get anything more out of this as well? Teehee, it looks like they just want to chase onto anything they can find out here. But pipelines, it's going to be the Loris Spins coming through onto it. Can he get the Tiny again? JG, he's already bought back. That's going to be, can he get himself out of this? The Shadow Strike still doing a lot of damage. He's trying to get himself away from the blinking. Wonderboy was able to claim that kill. That's two of them dead with the diebacks on the side of Made in Philippines. And Rapido just going to try and go with the Rolling Thunder, trying to lay this push, but there's going to be the TP and the Swashbuckle who comes out. Can he get himself out of danger? Not with the Walrus Punch coming through, the TP, the Blink coming through the Queen of Pain as well. Will-O-Wisp being dropped. Rapido with the roll-up. Can he get himself out? With Soulbind, and the damage is going to be way too much. Meanwhile, this is going on. Mango Rose is just like, yeah, you clean up, I'm going to be in the Roach Pit.
When one of these is dead between the Pango and the Tiny, the PL can just go ham. You know, it's the two of them that are keeping the illusions in check. Not one of them, not just the lucky shots, not just the avalanches. It's the both of them that are making Mango Rose just not have enough impact in the fight. The second that the Tiny died, it was time for Mango Rose to start cleaning up, and you could see how the fight was starting to go south after the Tiny had died, and then he buys back and dies again. This now puts Atlantis, it gives them 69 seconds. Hopefully for them, they just go to the high ground. They wait for someone to commit onto the PL, and then they kick him back. If they dive again, they will give a chance for MIPH to be back in this game that now should definitely be over.
Yeah, and you can take a look at the buybacks as well, that nobody apart from the Pangolier, the Phantom Lancer, and the Gyrocopter have those. So Mango Rose, with the Aegis, with effectively 3 lives, going to be super confident about pushing into this space. So they are going to be coming through. Might be another lane of racks. It's going to be a lane of racks to start off with, but another lane of racks that goes to risk after Mango Rose is done in this mid lane. Does he want to move himself down? Yeah, they're going to be moving themselves down towards this bottom lane. But this aggression on this tier 3 tower was super low anyway. So they are going to be able to go into this, and you can see that MIPH, they don't want to aggress right up until the time's back. 15 seconds of how much of their base are they going to lose in that next 12 seconds that comes out. And you can see Atlantis, even with the Aegis, even with the cheese, just playing it safe, just backing themselves away because they don't want to overcommit and get caught out and lose half the team here.
Now you give us discipline? Now? Come on, like, this is a time where they might not need to. I think MIPH, they have 1 fight left in them, considering the Tiny doesn't have the buyback. If he dies, it's over. Without the Tiny, you can't keep the PL in check, and he will just crush everyone. So, Atlantis, you know, maybe they just want to wait things out a little bit, poke the territory, see if the Tiny kind of pokes his nose. If he does, you crush him, and you have won the game. But I think at this point, you don't really have to be afraid. With PL having the Aegis, 4.6k HP, you can maybe kill him once, and it's gonna open up the even if he dies one, it's gonna open up the timing for the Tusk to find the Tiny, kick him back. Once you kill him, the game is over. So I think that Atlantis don't really have to be afraid, and finally we see the PL go forward.
Yeah, and you can see him coming right up onto the tier 4 as well. He's gonna, okay, Doppelganger's out, he just plays it safe. He's gonna try and take down the buildings, the shrines on the outside, the Morph as well. If you take a look, he's just using these illusions to push out. So it is going to be a pretty big creep wave here now as well. Tiki's going to be able to push up onto this. Maybe just trying to use the flat cannon. He's playing it safe though. He doesn't want to be caught out. He knows that he's got to be careful, but you are going to be able to get some aggression out here. It looks like he's going to be diving the toss back onto this Phantom Lancer. Thunder's going to come through now as well. He's going to be able to get himself into the doppelganger, maybe get himself out of danger as well. As he was stepping up, this Rolling Thunder on the back line, so it's doing a little bit of damage. He's going to be caught though. Can he get himself out of this? He's going to try and use the shield crash, maybe the blink to get himself out, because they're just going to have to go onto the keeper. Like the refresh comes out now as well. They're going to be able to take the kill. But what damage can they do? Mango Rose are going to try and chase down Pangolier. He's going to be silenced up. With this Bloodstone coming through, he's going to be able to do anything about this. They're going to be able to take down Lucifer once again. He's going to be dead mid-rebound. Rapido has to get himself up onto the high ground. He's going to be taken out. He does have that buyback available, and instantly has to pop it. With these tier 4s, the creeps are dealing with the buildings as MIPH, the retention's being dragged left, right, and center, quite literally in this base.
Tiny made a blunder there. He went for the back lines instead of just controlling the PL. You cannot think about doing that here. Even if you get the kills, the PL will crush your teammates if you're not there to control him. And now Rupido went in. He just bought back. This is not looking good for him. Beautiful shards.
Yeah, it's going to be Mega Creeps coming out. They're going to be able to get the kill onto the Pangolier. And I think Ponyo is going to go down, but they get the jump on the JG. Avalanche comes out, and I think this is going to be more than likely the game going the way of Atlantis. So after not really impressing in game number 1, Ken gets caught out. Is he going to be able to, I mean, he might try and do a little bit of damage. In fact, if he can get himself back to the base, he is going to be safe. Sending his courier maybe for that rapier.
And they need to add like a sound for the Tusk when he uses the Walrus Punch in the kick, something like "Hey-ya" or something along those lines, you know, the karate chop, because it really is a martial art kind of move, though. The game probably gonna be ending now.
Yeah, Ken, he's trying to do his best, but Mango Rose just with all these illusions, trying to do the damage. In fact, they're even going to be able to get on top of him. Rapier on the deck. They're going to dive into the fountain. This is going to be the game. GG gets called. Atlantis in a fairly long one. Take this 34-20, a 44k net worth lead going the way of Atlantis, and MIPH just didn't really ever get a chance to come back into that fight.
And Kander, he bought a rapier at the end. In the end, you could just see it kind of in the ground like Excalibur. No one will claim it until the new king comes out. Like it's kind of a showing from the game, like you guys don't deserve it. Just kidding, of course. These are the teams that came from the qualifiers, so we can't really expect too much from them. Though I have to say, Made in Philippines, Ken Rupido, I've seen them in other teams. I think JG is the one that might not be up to par with these players. He had a few blunders in terms of how you want to play, not in terms of spell casting. That was good from this side. I don't even want to talk about it, but the amount of aggression that he brings out. I think Made in Philippines, they have a lot of potential on this team, but you need to be watching some of the replays from other Tinies or other DKs, how they play once the map is open, and how aggressive they tend to be. Especially this being the Southeast Asia region, I expected more from them, and then you don't go aggressive then, and then you go aggressive in some weird times. On the other hand, Atlantis in this game in particular, they were on the back foot. Their laning phase didn't go well, but they did manage to persevere. So that's why in the end they did win the game. A few of the overdives, mainly the one when they had the Aegis when I thought the game was over. But that is the beautiful thing about this region. You know, no one is here to win. They're here to crush. So it just makes sense that you're gonna be making mistakes like that from time to time.
Yeah, and it was some great Dota, and of course, it was just a real back and forth. I genuinely thought the second game was going to be taken there by MIPH. You know, I was thinking, oh, it's going to be, you know, a quick 2 series, but no, Atlantis really fought back. They put the pressure onto MIPH in the second game and just brought it into this third game as well. So it was just great to watch, you know. And for my first outing into the CEA region, it was really a fun one to cast. I'm glad I got to be part of this, and it wouldn't be possible without our partners. Obviously, MateMate bringing us the as a partner, bringing in a natural energy drink, which is caffeine reimagined. You should try MateMate today. You know, get yourself more day, more night. Get yourself the energy to see through these games, which the Atlantis players obviously did. Being able to just bring that energy into that third game and push it through to the victory. And of course, our second partner as well, 188Bet, bringing the official betting partnership of the Southeast Asian DPC for this summer event. So you get a chance to win exclusive gaming gadgets now at bts.gg/188Bet. You can head over there right now to see what you get the chance to win. And of course, we are going to be taking a quick break while we get ready for an interview with one of the Atlantis players. We'll see who that's going to be, and we'll be back in a few minutes for the interview, the winners interview, just so they can celebrate that great victory. We'll see you in a few. And we're going to be joined by Mango Rose. Mango, how are you doing after that? Must be exhausting 3-game series.
Yeah, feeling great. You know, teammates, we are feeling great.
And so after that first game, how did you summon the momentum to get yourself back into that and bring it back into a reverse sweep? You know, what was the voices like in the team coming into that second game?
We just sat down and just talk about what we did wrong in the first game. So we just try to adjust our playstyle and just go for our comfort picks too. We play them a lot in scrims, so it's going really well for us.
Yeah, and Harry, anything you want to ask for?
Yeah, of course. Congratulations, you're a qualifier team, so it's really nice to know the MIPH are a qualifier team as well. But you are definitely some new names to me in the Southeast Asia region. Just one quick question before we dive deeper into it. Did you even spot that Ken bought a rapier in this last game there at the end? Did you spot that your enemy had a rapier, or did you just crush him and you didn't even spot it at all?
No, I didn't realize it until the game ended because we were too focused on hitting the throne. Everyone was shouting at the throne. They just say hit the throne, so I just hit the throne.
There was a time in that last game where I thought the game was gonna end when you had the Aegis and then you kind of overdove too far. You went too deep. Is this something that you like to do, or are you just kind of testing the limit so that you're gonna know for the future if that's something that you can do?
I think I did this a lot in pub, so I think this just PL thing. You don't die, like you don't die unless you are alone. Like I saw my 4 teammates alive, so I can just dive. I know I'm not dying.
Okay. So are we gonna expect more discipline from you guys, or are you still gonna have that kind of a attitude like, okay, I'm a PL, I can't die, I'm gonna crush you now?
I think that's just my playstyle. Like my teammates always ask me not to throw the game, but you know, I'm a PR player, so I just dive in.
That's nice. You are the carry player. They
Yeah.
need to follow you. Just one other thing. First game, it was now a long time ago, but you played the Spectre and the Warlock. Considering that you like to be aggressive, is that something that you like to do, or were you forced to it by your team?
No, I think we believe in the potential of Spectre, so we draft that way, but it doesn't go well. So maybe we will not pick Spectre in the further game.
Hopefully it does go well for you in the future, so
Yeah.
hoping that's gonna be the case. So thank you, Mango. Thank you really for all of your answers.
Yeah, thanks, Mango, for joining
Welcome.
us.
Welcome. Thank you.
Thanks, Will. We'll see you next time, and hopefully again, for you keep that momentum up, you can get yourself into a great position. Thank you once again, and again, good luck in the next series.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Okay, guys, yeah, we're going to be taking a quick break, and then we'll be back with the next series, which is going to be the Eastern European region soon. So stick around. We'll see you for the next few games right after this. But thank you for tuning in, and see you then.